I think it was like a month after I started, there's employee resource groups at companies called ERGs, and they're everything from subject matters like Black people at Google, Latinos at Google, and stuff like that. And many companies have these things. And there was women at Google conference that was happening, and I attended, and I was sitting at the front row, and I can't remember her name, but it was the head of like legal at YouTube, like, and she's Latina. She like looks like me. And I was just like, damn, like you're just like so cool. And she said something that is forever like, and I still like get teary from it, but she was like, I make more money in a year than my parents have their entire lives. And and the reality is like that sounds cool, but it's like such a crazy thing because I almost feel like I don't deserve it because like my dad worked in hard labor and I'm literally just at a computer all day doing my thing. And not to say, and this is like my interpretation from that now, but it was just one of those things where I like felt like someone said like something that I exactly was feeling. Yeah. And I was sobbing, like literally just like, so like, yes, this is exactly how I feel. This is exactly the words I needed to like explain this experience I've had this past month working at a company that I almost don't feel like I deserve to work at.
That's so insane.
Yeah.
Like something that I think to myself is like one of the biggest things is like you have to get out of the way of yourself. Like these things are so possible.
Yes.
But like literally you can get in the way of it. Like you can be like, I'm not worthy of this. Because like if you know your parents have worked and had these incredibly meaningful careers and done so much good, and then you go and sit at a computer and make more than they hold, like that is so crazy. Like I too am feeling that. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know how to or like I know that feeling of like it's actually difficult to get out of your own way. Like when you 100%. Put yourself in a position where you can be that successful, it can be so easy to self-sabotage that or never actually own it or sit with it.
Yeah.
Because you actually can't fathom it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think until certain realities face you, like you really don't know how you'll react.
Ultimately for you, what did you take away from that? Like did that help? Like do you now feel more comfortable with like owning it, of being like, I can be a fucking boss, and like I can like, did that level you up in a good way? Like where do you stand on that now?
I will always have a complicated relationship with money. Coming from where I do with my family, and not to say they ever made us feel poor, because I feel like I've only had wonderful experience in childhood. But then when you look back and you like tell friends when you're older, like it's kind of like have you ever heard like the poop fork story?
No.
Oh my God. It's this like famous Reddit thing, but it's a good metaphor. But basically like this person was like in college and was like, oh, where's the poop knife or something? And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And basically this man has grown up using a knife to like break up his poop so it flows down the drain easier. Exactly. And it's one of those stories like normal for you when you grew up.
Right.
Telling adults, it's like, oh, maybe there's something complicated about it. Like one of my stories is like, my high school had a nursery because of the amount of like teen pregnancies there were. And so it was kind of beautiful though. Like it enabled people to still be able to finish their high school degree, and have their kids like, you know, taken care of. And I think about that and like this, and then going to this like, you know, women ERG thing. And I was like, oh, I have to take these things with me.
Wow.
You know, I can't just erase it. I don't want this town to change me or these like industries to change me. And I think they have in a way that I'm able to like be in the streets and also like be in a boardroom, you know?
Yeah.
But I have to like be very conscious to preserve my culture in the forms that I have learned it, and not leave it at the door, and not feel like anyone's like trying to keep me from doing that.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is like that on its own is beautiful, but an observation that I have about you and just like our casual conversations, watching you interact with our friends, all of that is like you keep it so chill, and you don't have that like LA sweet brag, I'm so successful, I made it out of indie music, I do this. Like you're just like, oh, that's awesome. Like I'm so happy. Like, yo, dude, what's up? Glad you're succeeding. Glad you're happy. That's awesome. Cool. Like And I think that like being brutally honest, I think that coming from past, like I think that can be such like a high school, everybody's trying to pull each other down and it's such a competition to succeed, that I even hold a chip on my shoulder now that I like made it out, or like I found my own success where I'm like, I'll show them. And I'm like, kind of like, I have like this like weird chip on my shoulder kind of thing. And I don't notice that about you. I think that you're very much just like celebrate people's victories, nothing to prove. I think that's really cool.
I appreciate it. But I think to that point, like, we are allowed to live in a state of ambition and gratitude at the same time, you know? And I think if that falls one way or the other, that's when it gets dangerous. So I think you can have a chip on your shoulder, but make sure on the other one, there's something that, you know, is reminding you that, oh, I'm still myself.
Damn, you're fucking wise. I like this. Hey, it's Andrew, the host of Where Are All My Friends? I hope you liked that clip. If you did, the full episode is out now. You can watch or listen to it anywhere where podcasts are available and probably wherever you found this clip. So go check it out.